Welcome and good morning to Unity in Marin's 9:30 meditation. So for the next 20 minutes, we have the opportunity to deliciously go into the silence and just be. Just allow yourself to be. And if your thoughts drift away, I'm sure you have your own ways of getting back through your own breath. Maybe thinking about a place in nature, a waterfall, whatever it is to bring you back into the infinity of the divine possibilities of your divine self, so that you can raise your vibrations today and be the light in the world that you are. So for the next 20 minutes, just be. Thank you for joining me today in meditation. It is my hope that for the last 20 minutes that you expanded in your frequency and vibration and allow today to let go and let God lead you throughout the day. And if you forget, like I know I will, to pause, smile, surrender, let go. For it's in the surrender where we find true freedom, where we find expansion, where we find our divine potential. Thank you so much for being here today. And service will start in 10 minutes.
Jeremy Lieber, everyone. Can we give him some love, please? Oh, good morning, good morning. The summer is here, is it not? Has everyone been taking care of their lungs? Taking care of their breathing? Because the air quality has not been so fabulous. So make sure that you're being good about those things. Welcome. For those who don't know who I am, I'm Reverend Deanne Morency. I'm the senior minister here. And still pretty fresh back from sabbatical. So I know there are faces here people I haven't seen in a while because I've been away. So it's always so good to see everyone here. If you're new to Unity and you're wondering who we are and sort of what we value, in a nutshell, we're a community that's anchored in the understanding of each of our divine self. That we're here to be our most radiant being, and that we're here to shine our light, which is unique. It's only ours. There's no one else that's going to shine your light the way you shine your light. And does it feel sometimes a little overwhelming to shine our light? Right? It can feel overwhelming to shine our light. It's constantly inviting us to step out into something new. Always reinventing ourselves, always being called forth. Because in Unity we know that the personal growth that we're experiencing isn't just for us personally, it's for everyone. And so as we anchor that growth for ourselves, we're actually transforming the planet. And it is inviting us to show up in different ways. So we're here as a community to love each other, even when we annoy each other, right? To love each other, to see each other, to support each other, to remind each other that we're more. We're always more good, more grace, more love, more compassion. Never less, even when we're feeling really mean. Anybody in here ever feel really mean, right? Even in those moments, the truth of who we are is a light that's radiating outward. So to help us sort of get recentered in this space, in this moment, we have an opening song that we sing. And you're invited to sing along. I'm going to invite the Soul Sisters up in just a moment. But the song is designed specifically to mirror how Unity holds our teaching, that we start first with the personal, and then we expand that to our community, and then we expand that so that it's for the entire world. So now I'm going to invite the Soul Sisters up.
In this very room, there's quite enough love for one like me. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for one like me. And there's quite enough hope and quite enough power to chase away any gloom. For Spirit, sweet Spirit, Spirit is in this very room. And in this very room, there's quite enough love for all of us. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all of us. And there's quite enough hope and quite enough power to chase away any gloom. For Spirit, sweet Spirit, this very room, there's quite enough love for all the world. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all the world. And there's quite enough hope and quite enough power to chase away any gloom. For Spirit, sweet Spirit, Spirit is in this very room.
Into this space that we're creating, a room that is a room in consciousness. Please know if you're watching us on the live stream, whenever you're watching, that you are right here with us, right now, in this very room. I'm going to invite the prayer chaplains to rise. I'm going to invite Elizabeth Drew to come forward with the prayer box. And as the prayer chaplains encircle this community, if you feel called to join them as you anchor consciousness for this community and for the world, please feel free. And know that if you're watching at home, that you are in this sacred container with us right now. So the invitation is to just quiet the mind. Open the heart. Just allow whatever you might have been carrying this week, this morning, just allowing it to fall away. Welcoming that centered space that is at the very center of all beingness. The quiet, the stillness. That is perfect love, that is absolute grace, that is infinite joy. How good it is to know that that is the truth of who, of what we are, the living embodiment of love, of joy, of grace. And that as we center ourselves in this spaciousness, out of seeming no way, a way is possible. So in this moment, from this consciousness of oneness, the oneness that we all are, the wholeness that we all are, I invite you to speak into this space, anything you're carrying in your heart, any situation, people, relationships, world events, to just feel free to speak them into this sacred container right now. And whether this prayer is spoken or unspoken, whatever it is that you're carrying in your heart, just know that it is now held in this field of infinite potential that we in agreement are saying yes to. Knowing that love is stronger than anything else. And that love is making itself known for all who we care about, for this world, for this planet. We see love as abundance. We see love as companionship and connection. We see love as healing of the mind, the body, and the soul. And as we rest in this awareness of the one, I invite you to just imagine activating our power of imagination, expanding your heart, that heart space that knows the truth, and allowing it to touch up with every single person's heart in this space. All who are watching, just allowing that love to spill forth into this planet, soothing, healing, quieting any raw space that we may have within ourselves or in the world. How grateful I am to see and know that there is a way as we anchor love. Love is the way. Seeing and knowing that each one of us is called to show up as that love in time and in space. And it is through the actions of our voice, our hands, our feet, that we transform this world into a world that works for everyone. How grateful I am for each person here. How grateful I am for the truth of our divine nature and our spiritual capacities. Knowing that this prayer is done, fulfilled right now, I invite you to know this with me by saying, and so it is. Amen. Ashe. Thank you, everyone. You may be seated. We'll open the doors. We'll invite everyone who's in the lobby to come on in. And I'm going to invite Jeannie Skybrook up to the platform.
Thank you, Deanne. Hello, is this? Thank you, Deanne. That's awesome. I forgot to test before service. I'm not yet perfect. I'm really working on it. I've been working on it for a very long time. We have a vision here in Unity in Marin. We all got together and created this. Shortly after Deanne came, we revised our vision and our mission. So let's say this vision together. A world spiritually awakened and transformed through realizing our divine potential. And our mission together, we are a loving community dedicated to spiritual growth, inclusivity, and service. We honor and care for ourselves, each other, and the natural world. And we have 3 core values. Just say these 3 together with me. Connectivity, inclusivity, authenticity. So keep that in your mind so any moment you could spit it out, right? Okay, let's read these together. Connectivity. Living in an awareness of unity with all. Inclusivity. Cultivating a safe space to celebrate diversity and value the uniqueness of every person. Authenticity. Being true to ourselves, our values, and spirit. Okay, so guess what? You all know this, don't you? You're all part of the welcome team, yay! So if you're new today or relatively new, we welcome you. And if you're old, we welcome you too. And you're all welcome to come out into the courtyard after service for hospitality, where we can get to know you better. So if there's someone that you haven't talked to before, feel free to go up and introduce yourself. We like to stay connected. We have a spiritual connection card in your bulletin that you can tear off and fill out and put in the basket when it comes around. This will help you stay connected, and another really important way is, I think, for me, is connecting with text. So if you haven't already texted, text welcome at 415-991-7111, because if you ever have a little FOMO, fear of missing out, well, if you text, you will not miss out. You will not have to worry about FOMO. You will be in the loop for what we do around here, and we do a lot. We have several upcoming events. You can go ahead and take a picture of that. Isn't it funny? We said, put your phones away, put your phones away. Well, now we go, take your phones out, and take a picture. And you can always go online. Oh, today's flower sponsors are Paula and Pete Avowed. So grateful to our Unity in Marin community. Flowers arranged by Elizabeth Drew. And we are so grateful for you. So if you want to be a hospitality or flower sponsor, see Charcel out in the breezeway after service and sign up. And also, she sponsors an artist or collector of the week. And sometimes we don't every week have someone, but we often do. So if you're an artist and have works you would like to share, or a collector of something, now I brought my pink flamingo collection one time. That took up the whole table and more. So think about what you might have to share. And now it's Deanne's turn.
Each week, we like to honor and lift up those who show up in sacred service because we don't function without people saying yes. And who I want to honor today is a group of people who really stepped out in a very public way while I was on sabbatical. So standing up here and doing and leading prayer is not the easiest thing in the world. Can you imagine that? Right? But these 8 individuals said yes to showing up while I was on sabbatical, and they led the opening prayer. So I'd like them to stand as I read their names. Paula Abowd, Trish Brady, Yvette Connor, Gloria Cunha, Elizabeth Drew, Jen Kelly, Kathleen O'D, and Ellie Staples. Can we just give you some love, please, for stepping out and honoring our prayer? You know, prayer is a very intimate process, yes? And so doing it sort of in a public forum is just a very different muscle. So thank you for all the ways you said yes. So we have 2 very special guests with us. They're fresh off of Silomar, where they were just there. Yes, it was a Silomar, yeah, where they were leading a whole event. They were part of a larger event as the musicians because they really do anchor the New Thought musical movement. And so without much more ado, I'm going to invite Anton Mizarek and Laura Berryhill to come on up here.
We're going to play for you today a little song that I wrote about that journey towards spirit. We are looking for a way to find our home. We are looking for a way to find our home. When we heed our inner voice, we find that wisdom leaves no choice. The quiet truth is built from many stones. Its whisper leads us home. We are looking for a way to find our peace. We are looking for a way to find our peace. In the kindness we embrace, in forgiveness and release, the never-ending journey leads to peace. We will find our peace. And we sing Om Shanti 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 Om. Please join. Om Shanti 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 Om. We sing Om Shanti 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 Om. Om Shanti 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 Om. We are looking for a way to find our truth. for a way to find our truth. When the sky is in our souls, we find heaven in our roots. The mountain we must climb becomes our muse on our way to truth. On the journey to perfection, can we see our inner light as the candle in the window in the darkness of the night, where every star's a candle in spirit's vast array, and the song within our hearts is there to help us on the way. We sing Om Shanti 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 Om. Om Shanti 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 Om. We sing Om Shanti 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 Om. Om Shanti 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 Om. Its whisper leads us home.
Perfectly aligns with what our series is right now, right? So there are more booklets that have been ordered, so they're on their way. So if you don't have one, just know they're coming. If you're watching online, you can email the office and we will send you one. So the booklet we're using right now for this 5-week series is a booklet put out by Unity called When Peace Feels Far Away. And it offers 10 different practices to be able to help us remember how to anchor ourselves in that space of Om Shanti Shanti, peace. So how we're holding all of this is that it's about a return to center. And what we mean by that is that we're returning to our spiritual grounding, right? We're returning to the place within us that is always steady. Everyone just take a breath of like, woof. You mean there's a place within that's always steady? Because we don't always feel that way, right? And this place is steady. The truth of who we are is rock solid, regardless of what's happening around us. And sometimes it's really easy to lose sight of that. And what we always want to remember is that we're not, when we talk about being centered, it means that we're not ignoring whatever is alive for us in time and in space. We're not ignoring circumstances. We're not ignoring the events in our lives. We're not abandoning our emotions. If it actually makes you uncomfortable emotionally, that's an alert saying, oh, pay attention. Healing can happen right here. And so we don't go into denial. We don't go into apathy, right? Because that's easy to do, especially in the political world we live in right now. And we don't pretend that everything is fine. I always say that the code in New Thought is when you ask somebody, you say, oh, how are you? And they're like, it's all good. And what they're really saying is, my life has gone to hell. We get to actually acknowledge that things in our world are not great, but that doesn't mean that we're not great. That doesn't mean that we don't have something within us that we can access. So last week, we talked about bewaring the spiritual bypass, right? Being conscious of that impulse to just sort of slap an affirmation, or I'm all good, or it's all good, or life is good, or God is good all the time. I mean, you know all of those catchphrases, right? So we don't want to just skip right to the spiritual idea so that we don't feel sad or we don't feel unhappy or we're not actually acknowledging what's happening. I loved this definition of it. Spiritual bypass is when we're seeking instant transcendence to avoid the human experience. And what we know in unity is that we are 100% human and we are also 100% divine. And the work that we do, the practices that we have, the spiritual calling that we are being invited into is to integrate that understanding of ourselves. Wouldn't everyone in here love to be 200%? Right? Wouldn't that be awesome to be 200% rather than 75 and 25, or right? We want it, the goal, Jesus was 200%. Jesus walked in the world. He didn't sit out somewhere on his cushion. Like, he did sit on his cushion, but then he walked in the world, right? He was out there. His ministry was of the world. And we want to understand that one of the foundational components of our teaching is that words have power. And I talked last week about the fact that we have to remember, though, that not all words are creative, right? And I shared the example of my brother being dead 100 times. If words were creative, because how many times have I said to him, I want to kill you? Our words, they are formative, though. Can you feel the difference between like making something happen and creating it instantaneously? And words are formative, that the language that we employ in our conversations and with others and in our own inner dialogue, this is a big one, it has a profound effect on us. It can lift us up or it can tear us down. And what we're called in unity is to be able to say, I want my words to be of compassionate intent, compassionate purposefulness. And this can be really hard sometimes. When I first entered New Thought, we used to call it self-talk. I don't know if they still call it self-talk, because this is decades ago. Negative self-talk. And when you get quiet and you're sitting in your stillness, what do you hear? What arises? Is it about how horrible you are? What a horrible person you are? All the things you did wrong, maybe from 35 years ago? Don't they still come back to us? Right? So words do have a formative power that we want to pay attention to because they impact us. So part of what I want to invite all of us into is look for the places where your positive words are out of sync with what you're actually feeling. And give yourself the permission to figure out why. Because that's the spiritual healing. The why is the place where you're invited to heal something. Now, in the booklet, what she shares, what one of the ministers shares, is about how she was doing all this prosperity and abundance work. For years, she was doing prosperity and abundance work, and yet nothing in her life was changing. That's a real clue for all of us out there who feel stuck. That's a clue that there's something within us that's actually holding us back. So she dug into the work a little bit more, and she realized that having grown up the way she did, having all of the stories and the myths and meaning making that we create, everybody in here do meaning making? Y'all should be nodding your heads, because you do. She had this belief that she didn't really need money. All right? I don't really need money. Can you feel how that is sabotaging her ability to be open to prosperity and abundance? Now remember, in unity, we don't just hold that prosperity is about money. Money is like the smallest sliver of it all. Prosperity is every facet of our life overflowing, our relationships, our joy, our creativity, right? But our finances are definitely part of that. But if we're saying, I don't really need money, well, guess what? You don't really need money. So there's no money, because you don't really need it. And as she worked on the healing process of where those words came from, where that belief was, because remember, we talked about this last week. Words in Unity is an old understanding of how science worked. So when you read in these things, they say words. I want you to hold that as thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, because that's what's behind our words. All of that energy is what's behind them. So the belief, I don't really need money, was sabotaging her ability to be able to welcome money. And as she worked through that, then all of a sudden a whole new avenue of prosperity opened up for her. So part of what we're the spiritual practice that we're standing in is this witness consciousness, paying attention, wake up. Don't go to sleep on the voices in your own mind, in your own heart. Wake up to them, even if they scare you to death, because that's good news. Death is just a transition. It's just a process of transformation. And that's what we say yes to in our spiritual understanding. So when you encounter something that's triggering, anybody in here ever have an experience triggering this week? All right. Okay, we're all 100% human, so everybody should be nodding along with me, right? Before you react, before you speak, what happens if you ask yourself these two simple questions? How do I want to contribute to the situation? What words can help improve it? Because it's all too easy to just sort of say, well, I'm guilty of this, as I'm sure you're all aware, processing verbally, right? So I got to get it all out. My wife has been on the receiving end of that many times. But I am learning that processing verbally from my place of triggering doesn't actually support me to feel a greater sense of peace. How many people in here have ever been like upset and triggered, and you call that friend and you're like, can you believe what they did? And the friend's like, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. And you all just sort of sit there spiraling out. Now there's a part of you that may feel like, oh, that felt good, I'm validated. I'm being seen. My emotional life is being like acknowledged. Is it actually supporting you to live in a place of peace and compassion and love? Now, don't start beating yourself up because you need to process verbally and you kind of have to go, right? But we want to pay attention to it. Is this something I do all the time? Is this like an impulse? Is it just like the first thing I go to? And how can I sit with something that is more deep, more true, and actually more real? Emotions are fleeting. Everybody say that. They don't feel fleeting, do they? They feel like they're going to be with you forever. But your eternal nature, that is unchangeable. That is the constant. That is the center. So, that is inviting us to stay grounded, right? And there are so many ways that we can stay grounded, and I'm sure y'all have a lot of practices, but part of what we're looking at is how do we stay grounded and center ourselves in peace. So while you may have practices that have been working for you, I'm going to invite you to expand your experiences, right? Don't get locked in. Don't get locked in, because sometimes we're locked in because that spiritual practice isn't actually going to help us look at something that makes us uncomfortable. So the fastest way to get back to steady ground, right, is really simple. Not necessarily easy, but it is simple. It is the breath, the body, and the earth. Everybody say this. The breath, the body, the earth, right? The breath, the body, the earth. And depending on what's happening for you, any one of these three can be what you're being invited to access. So I'm actually going to give you some of these practices, right? So there's the 4-4-8 breath practice. Anybody in here know the 4-4-8? Okay, so what it is you inhale for 4 through your nose, you hold for 4, and you exhale through your mouth, and I usually do it with like some sort of sound, right, for 8. And then you breathe in through your nose for 4, you hold for 4, and you exhale for 8. Let's close our eyes. Let's try it. And remember, we're going to just take a moment, and we're going to inhale through our nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4, 3, 4. Now exhale through your mouth. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now open your eyes. That did not take a lot of time, did it? And you can do several cycles of these, obviously. But when we get caught in a reactive cycle, we think that we can't stop. But we really can. Michael Beckwith used to always say, come to a full stop. It's one of my favorite things that I stole from him, right? Come to a full stop. Now, I also want to acknowledge that for some of us, sometimes breathing isn't going to help us, right? Breathing can bring us into this part of our body energy-wise, and if our heart is struggling, if we're having a lot of emotions, sometimes breathing actually doesn't calm us down. It actually helps to keep us kind of spinning out. So another option in terms of body is what I call the extremity awareness. And this is like trauma training, right? This is like for trauma, right? When you're in a messed up experience, chaplains and hospitals will go to this practice. You don't have to be totally in the midst of trauma to use it, but it is incredibly helpful because what you're doing is bringing your attention to your extremities. So the first thing you do is focus on the bottom of your feet and on your toes, and you just sort of wiggle them. You just sort of feel your toes. And if that's not possible for you to feel your toes for whatever reason, just imagine you can feel your toes. And then what you want to do is then bring your attention to your hands, and everybody look at what I'm doing. You're just touching your thumb to each finger, the tip of each finger, and placing all your awareness on where your thumb and your finger meet. Feet grounded, toes wiggling, fingers. Now, can you feel how the attention goes to your extremities rather than centering around here? So the breath can help you, but so can this practice of the extremity awareness, right? Then there's the 5 senses practice, which I actually love because sometimes we forget that what's available to us is right here in this moment. So 5 things you can see, and you just name them. I see a clock. I see a door. I see cell phones taking pictures of my slides, which is awesome, right? 5 things you can see. 4 things you can touch, right? I feel the linen of my shirt. I feel the clicker in my hand. I feel my sandals on my feet, right? Can you feel how we're accessing the senses and we're giving ourselves something else to focus on aside from whatever might be spinning us out? 3 things you can hear. I hear the sounds of the air conditioner. I hear my voice reverberating through the sanctuary. I hear the hum of the microphones. 2 things you can smell. Now, some of us had COVID do wonderful things to our sense of smell. So again, our power of imagination can work here. Is there a smell that brings comfort? My wife yesterday baked these really incredible muffins, and that just filled the house with that smell of like baked goods. You can imagine what it is that you might be smelling as well. And then one thing you can taste. So what this does is eyes open. We're not going into some inner space. We're actually in the world. And we are focused on art. We're focused on our pets. We're focused on all the different fabrics. Everybody have those little comfy blankets that you like to wrap yourself up in? Right? That's touch. Right? The food, the tea, light a candle that smells good. It gives you something to look at, gives you something to smell, right? All of these are ways to quickly sort of bring yourself back into focus. And then, of course, there's just moving, right? And this was really powerful while I was walking the Camino, right? Just getting up, just walking. And let me tell you, there were days when I didn't want to walk. Right? But getting up, walking, dancing, right? Turn on some music. Turn on some music and use it to help center yourself in your body. Music is an incredible way to shift energy in your being. EFT, right? Those of you who know how to do the EFT, right? You're doing the tapping. Use the skills that we have that actually are supporting us. And why? So we've got breath, we've got body, and then we have the earth. And this is a quote from the booklet. Karen, a good friend of mine actually, says, "Enmeshed in the patterns of worldly thinking, I may become untethered from the nurturing power of nature. But as I sit in the backyard or walk a trail, I am reminded that I am one with nature. I am one with all creation." So taking time to support this, and again, I know, I couldn't walk for a year and a half, right? But that doesn't mean that I couldn't use my power of imagination to engage and to visualize a serene environment, imagery that would help me. I've shared the story of my friend Susan who had ALS, and at the end of her life, she couldn't move. She couldn't move. And her bed was positioned so that she could see one tree that she loved. She had this intense relationship with this tree. And she said to me, I want to walk. And I said to her, go for your walks. They used to have a house in Colorado, and they would go hiking in the mountains there. I said, go for the walk. Do it in your imagination. And she did. And she loved it, right? It made her feel at peace. It made her feel like she was freer from the body that was constricting her sense of freedom. But she was so much more than that. Just everyone take a moment and just look at that picture. And can you just allow yourself to be there for a moment? It's that simple, and it can be that quick. Everyone has phones nowadays. What's on your screen? What's on your lock screen? What do you look at every day when you pick up your phone? Is it something that brings you joy and peace? What is it that you're anchoring? How many times a day do you pick up your phone? What if you picked it up and you actually paid attention to the screenshot for 5 seconds for the wallpaper, right? So the practices for this week. Notice how your thoughts and how you express them impact your day and the world around you, because we don't live in a bubble. If we're having a bad day, guess what? We're spewing that all over everybody else around us, right? Notice what kinds of thoughts and expressions support you to feel centered and at peace, and share that with others. If you love listening to music, send a song to a friend, right? Explore the 448 and the five senses or the extremity, like explore how you can help yourself to stay more centered and at peace so that you're grounded throughout your day. And then listen to a bunch of different music. I know y'all are probably attached to whatever you listen to. Expand your horizons, right? See what else is out there. If you're on Spotify, I put on good energy music to run by when I go to the gym, right? I don't know half the songs that are coming up on my playlist, but it's fun. It's like, oh, this is good. I can rock to this. Now, is that going to be a different kind of music than what I use when I'm meditating in the morning, or what? Right? Use music to support whatever it is that you need. I like to dance around the house to ABBA, right? Because it just makes me happy. It makes my wife very happy too. She's an ABBA freak, so. And then the last thing is just go for a walk. Go for a walk. And if you can't actually walk, close your eyes and go for a walk. I mean, we know that the brain doesn't really know your body doesn't know the difference between you imagining going for a walk and you actually going for a walk. That's why sports athletes sit and imagine themselves doing their routines, because the body actually reacts to what it is that we are imagining. All of this is designed to give you concrete spiritual tools to support you to be able to stay centered in the peace that you actually are. And it feels like the world is trying to spin us off of that, but nothing can actually take you off that center of peace except you. And that's fair, but then you get to bring yourself back to the truth of who you are. So let's take this into our time of meditation. We're just going to breathe into this space of whatever might have been opened up for you. Whether it's that place of spiritual bypass that maybe, just want to ignore it, pretend it isn't there. Maybe it's world events that just feel like they're buffeting us and we just want to shut it all out. Maybe it's life circumstances. Someone in our life is challenged in some way. Maybe we're challenged in some way. And so the invitation is, we're going to do the 4-4-8. So I'm going to invite everyone to just breathe in for 4 through your nose. And hold for 4. And exhale for 8. And inhale through your nose for 4. And hold for 4. And exhale for 8. And as you continue in your own rhythm, at your own pace, I just invite you to welcome the grounded, centered peace that you truly are. Let's rest here, breathing and being in the silence. grateful I am for this opportunity to be still and know, this opportunity to come to a full stop, welcoming the stillness that is our true nature, that is our true name, anchoring the practices that are available to each one of us as we go forth this week, blessed in a blessing, anchored in compassion and love. And so it is. Amen. Ashe. So our affirmation this week, I'll say it first and then I'll invite you to say it with me, is I recenter myself through my breath, body, and nature. I choose compassionate words to uplift my life and others' experience. Can we know this together, please? I recenter myself through my breath, body, and nature. I choose compassionate words to uplift my life and others' experience. And so it is. Amen. I'm going to invite Anton and Laura to come back up.
We have a nice song I wrote that fits this perfectly.
Within you, deep peace within you. May peace be upon you. Deep peace be upon you. The peace within shines without like the sun, and it's only just begun. So breathe, just breathe. Breathe, just breathe. The light without and the light within are the same, just a different name. So breathe, just breathe. Breathe, just breathe. just breathe.
I think we were all just breathing, stunned into silence at your beautiful song. Thank you so much. And thank you, Reverend Deanne. That was a great talk. She gave us actually concrete things to do, didn't she? And if you didn't take a picture of that, you know you can watch it online again. And pause it and take a picture there. Yes, pause it and take a picture. So you have plenty of opportunities. You know what I kept thinking through your whole talk? It's how I am in my car. It's the only time I really act bad. There's nobody there to hear me. And sometimes I use words that my mother wouldn't want me to use. So I'm gonna look at those practices and see if I can use some of them to, be a little nicer in my car. I don't know how they'll feel, but I think I will feel better, right? Okay, and because I had so much on my mind while she was talking, it's like, I had something to say about every single thing she said. There's a discussion circle after service, about 15 minutes after you get some food and chat a bit, you can go to the discussion circle and then you can talk about how her talk affected you. And we have, this is the last day for our fundraiser, the Spiritual Refining, turning your precious metals into a different kind of gold. And you had to sign up for that, so I reckon if there's any spots left, you can still grab one. And you can talk to Tom. Tom Tyree will be in the conference room. It's about there. This is the last day to sign up for the small groups. Some of them are full. My Learn to Play the Ukulele class is not full. Hint, hint. And this is the Lost and Found Day, where after the service, everything goes away. So this is your chance to look in Lost and Found and see if your water bottle is there that you haven't been able to find. Or goodness knows what else you've left around here. But if you don't claim it today, it's going to be bye-bye. Now, we had a little chat at our last town hall meeting. And Momo and I came up with this idea of, adding a little more to the coffers because we were a little short. And so we've got this idea of stretch into abundance. Everybody stretch with me. Yes. Oh, you should see what this looks like. It's awesome. Y'all want to come up here and look? Thank you. So, which leads us into giving and receiving. So if you'd like to stretch a little as the plate comes around, the basket comes around, you have my permission. And if you fill out a check, I still write checks. I know there's a couple other people that do. You could write stretch in the little section that says, what is this for? Okay. There are lots of ways to give. There's a Church Center app on your phone. There's a QR code for those that are live streaming. We don't see it, but they do. There's a giving envelope in your bulletin, and you can always mail a check to 600 Palm Drive, Novato, 94949. And as the basket comes around, that's when you put in your spiritual connection card. So please, if you need a prayer, have a prayer request, or just want to say something to Deanne, or just want to say, hi, I'm here, put it in the basket. And we have an offering affirmation, and it's if you have your offering with you, I just hold my hands because it comes out of my bank automatically. We'll say this together. I am the power of abundance, giving and receiving gratefully. And we are now going to have another lovely song while the ushers come forward. Oh, I have one other thing. Wait a minute. I have one other thing to say. Oh, no, I don't. I'll say it all later. Never mind.
Now, I don't know whether we have words for this song or not, but it is really easy, and we'd love it if you would sing along with us.
It's by a friend of mine, Donna Michael.
I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright.
You are a light.
You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright.
We are a light.
We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. And we shine
Together.
and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. We shine, we shine, we shine, we shine.
I was so busy shining and being a light in the world that I forgot to come up. Thank you so much. So, we have these small groups, and 3 summers ago we had this when we started having the small groups, and one of them was Spiritual Movie Night, and it's been going on ever since. Isn't that awesome? And it's off campus in Mill Valley. It's a wonderful event. It's lovely to watch a movie like this with other people. If you have any questions, you can talk to James. He's around. But it meets in Mill Valley. And the 4th Sunday is Choir Sunday for anybody that wants to join us in choir. After the choir Sunday at noon, we have the Social Justice Choir meets. And in August, this month we're in, that we've just started August. It's my birthday month, so it's a special month. We'll be meeting on August 23rd, which seems early, doesn't it? But that's because there's 5 Sundays in August. So on the 4th Sunday, August 23rd, the Social Justice Choir will meet, and you're all welcome to come to that. You don't have to have a great singing voice. It's not about that. Okay. And we have our community town hall meetings. We're doing it monthly throughout the end of the year, and the next meeting will be that 5th Sunday in August, August 30th. Okay, will the chaplains please stand? Thank you. They are here to pray with you. They will be along the sides, and you can ask any of them for a prayer after service. It is private and confidential. And we're so grateful that they are here. And now, do we have children today?
We're going to rise. We know that there are children that are part of this community. We know that there are children in the world. And we know that the youth of this world right now are in need of our being able to support and bolster their understanding of themselves. So I'm going to invite us to hold all of that in our hearts, as well as our teens and all the kids who move through our program, including the kids who are part of HMS. And we're going to say this together. You are the perfect expression of divine light. We love you exactly the way you are. And so it is.
And now for the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is. And please join us with our closing song, I'm So Grateful.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful.
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 Happy Sunday, everyone. I'll be right here and at the door, and come join us in the courtyard for hospitality, potluck.